Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maura, and I'm a physical therapist and certified yoga teacher. Today I'll be sharing a slow flow Vinyasa practice for stress relief. Throughout this practice, we'll be transitioning slowly and focusing on deep breathing in the postures. As always, please make sure that it is safe for you to be practicing yoga and that you are utilizing props and variations to make poses comfortable in your body. You are welcome to swap in a different pose or skip anything that does not work for you. Props are not required, but I always recommend having some blocks, a blanket, and a strap nearby. I'll link what I'm using down in the description box, along with plenty of other resources for injury prevention and beginners to yoga. So let's start our stress relieving practice in a calming child's pose. Bring your knees out to the outer edges of the mat and slowly lower your head down as you come into your child's pose. And we'll start with some deep breathing here. In your next inhale, just bring your hands over toward the right side of the mat and try to ground your left hip down. And continue taking deep inhales and trying to lengthen your exhales. And gently walk your hands over to the other side of the mat, grounding the right hip down. Walk your hands back to center. Start to lift yourself up and transition into an easy seat. And whatever that looks like for you, maybe placing a blanket or a block under your hips. And we'll start with some neck circles, just drawing a gentle circle with your nose, only going as far as your neck wants to allow you. And switch directions and continue breathing deeply and taking slow breaths, lengthening your exhales. And now we'll take an inhale up with our arms and twist to the right, gently twisting but keeping your spine lifted. Don't try not to collapse down as you twist. Inhale through center, twist to the opposite side. And slowly unwind your twist and just place your hands on your knees, and we'll take some circles with the upper body. Try to keep your hips grounded on the mat as we go through some upper body circles, taking any direction that works for you. And we'll switch sides halfway through. And keep breathing here. Pause and reverse your direction. One more circle. And release. Come into a tabletop position. Hands under shoulders and knees under hips. We'll go through some cat and cow, matching your movement to your breath, and we'll go at your own pace here. Inhale to cow, and exhale round and press cat. Last one. And come down to the mat, come onto your forearms and your belly for Sphinx. Gentle extension in the spine as we're warming up, and just pull the heart forward, look about a foot in front of your mat, wherever's comfortable for your neck. And come back to your deep breathing. Down to your mat, plant the hands, tuck the toes, and press up and back into your first downward facing dog. And taking any movements here that help you settle into this pose. And look forward, step to the top of your mat. Bend your knees, roll up to mountain. And we'll take 2 sun salutation variations to continue warming up the body here. Inhale up and exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, neck is long. Forward fold, plant the hands, step back to plank. Bring your knees down. You can do chaturanga if that's in your practice. Lower down. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. Look forward, shift your weight, step to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, slowly roll up, keep breathing here. And we'll take that one more time, inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, step back to plank. And whatever's in your practice here, knees down or chaturanga, anything is fine. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here, settle into this pose. Inhale your right leg up, Shift the weight, look forward, step between your feet, turn the back toes out, maybe around 45 degrees as you come up for warrior one. If it feels good, turn your hips toward the top of the mat. If that doesn't feel good on your back leg, then just go ahead and let them face diagonal a little bit, whatever's most comfortable for you. Exhale, straighten that front leg. With control, lower your hands down to blocks or the floor for pyramid. Release the head if that feels comfortable. Bend your front knee, turn the back toes so that they're facing forward, coming into an easy twist, and you may need to hop that back foot back a few inches as you plant the left hand and raise up the right, easy twist. Plant that right hand down, step it back to plank. We'll take a deep breath here, pulling in the lower belly and aligning the spine. And then lower down with your knees or chaturanga if you can safely do that. Inhale to cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog, 3 deep breaths. Inhale your left leg up here. Look forward, shift your weight, step the foot in between the hands and turn the back toes out, coming up for warrior one. And again, if you'd like to, try and spiral those hips toward the front of the mat. If that feels good, go ahead. If not, just let them hang out diagonally, as long as you keep the front knee over the ankle. Straighten the front leg, release the hands. With control, lower your body down to blocks or the floor for pyramid, releasing the head if that feels good. Continue deep breathing throughout these postures, lengthening the exhales. Shift forward and bending that front knee and turn the back toes so that they're facing forward, maybe stepping them back a bit as you plant the right hand and lift the left up for easy twist. Release the left hand down, step that foot back for plank, and take a moment to take a deep breath here. And then lower down, knees or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 deep breaths here. And lower the knees to the mat. We're going to come into some pigeon pose to open up the hips. If that does not work for you, you are welcome to take reclined pigeon or any other hip rotator stretch that does. If you're doing pigeon, shift your right knee behind your right wrist and just let the knee bend naturally. And then you're going to walk the back leg back as far as you can go until your pelvis either hits the floor or hits its edge. If there's a lot of space here, you can put a block or a blanket to keep your hips level so that you can relax into this pose. You're welcome to stay upright, or you can come down on your forearms for resting pigeon, 10 deep breaths in any variation. Lift your head up and walk your hands back up if you took that option. Tuck the back toes and press up and back into downward facing dog. Just taking a few pedals or movements here after that intense stretch. We'll set up for the left side, bringing the left knee behind the left wrist, and then walking the back leg back again, utilizing any props here under the pelvis to keep it supported so that you can fully relax, and take any variation here in your pigeon for 10 breaths. Begin to walk your hands back up. You may take a downward dog, or if you'd like, we're going to come into sitting, so just shift over onto your hip and swing that leg around. So we're going to be coming into a supported bridge. Alternatively, you can do legs up the wall or just placing your legs up on a chair or a couch that's near you. But if you'd like to do supported bridge, you can use a block or a blanket that is folded up to a similar height as a block. It just depends on how much pressure you like on your sacrum, because we're going to be placing the block underneath the hips for a very gentle, relaxing inversion. So take your block or your blanket, lift up your hips, and then place it underneath the hips on the sacrum, but be careful not to bring it up into the lower back. So if you reach behind and you feel those two indentations in your lower back, that's the top of your pelvis. So if you keep the block below those, then you'll be safe. And just let your hips melt into the block, giving you a gentle, gentle traction on the lower back. We'll take 10 deep breaths in any of those poses that you've taken. Coming out of supported bridge. And press into your heels, squeeze your glutes, and just lift up into a bridge position and slide your prop outward. And just push it out of the way. And we're staying down on our backs now to close our practice. If you'd like to, bring the knees in and gently release the lower back and rock side to side. You can do that. Bring your hands out to the side, keep the knees together, and bring them up towards the hips as you gently let them fall over to the right. Try and ground the opposite shoulder down. Inhale slowly up and over, shifting the weight over to the opposite side. Let the knees drop over to the left. Ground the right shoulder down. Keep deep breathing. Inhale the knees back to center and take any last movements that you need to be completely comfortable in Shavasana, your final resting pose. This is a very important pose, especially for stress relief and relaxation. It's important not to skip this at the end of your practice. Gently float your eyes open. Take your time, taking any way to get back up into a seated position. Bringing your hands to heart center, we'll take one last deep inhale and exhale. Thank you so much for joining me for this slow flow vinyasa for stress relief practice. Leave a comment below and let me know how this practice went for you. You can check out more practices like this on this playlist popping up right here in this corner. And if you liked this class, definitely check out some of my other videos and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon. See you next time.